In fact, let's get our viewers up to speed with the latest coming in terms of reactions.
Absolutely. Now, here is what Raman Singh, the former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, has to say with the early trends coming in. Take a listen.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रति जो विश्वास है, वो विश्वास आज के चुनावों में परिलक्षित होता है। आप सब जानते हैं, एमपी के मन में मोदी है, मोदी के मन में एमपी है। जिस तरह से प्रदेश में सरकार चली, 18 वर्षों में अच्छा काम हुआ, जितना अच्छा काम माननीय शिवराज जी ने किया, जितना अच्छा काम डबल इंजन की सरकार ने किया, जितना अच्छा काम संगठन ने किया, उसका आशीर्वाद आज मध्य प्रदेश की जनता ने दिया।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जिन मुद्दों पे मतदान हो रहा है, गिनती हो रही है, ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की घोषणा पत्र सबसे महत्वपूर्ण। किसानों के लिए जो हमने बात की, किसानों के हित में जो बात की, महिलाओं के लिए जो कहा, और उसके साथ ही साथ सबसे बड़ी बात कि जो घोषणा पत्र में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने समाज के सभी वर्ग को जोड़ा है, उसका भी असर दिखेगा। और भूपेश के 5 साल की असफलता, और भूपेश ने 5 साल में छत्तीसगढ़ के शोषण किया है, जो भ्रष्टाचार किया है, ये सारे मुद्दे इस चुनाव में दिखेंगे।
And joining us in the studio is also Mr. R.K. Upadhyay. Mr. Upadhyay, what were some of the key issues that dominated the polls this time? Do you think the issues this time were conventional or were they different?
This time?
Were they conventional or were they different this time?
Well, I think every election is different in the sense that, things change over a period of time and then the personnel change. So this was obviously a different kind of election, and coming just 5 months before the Lok Sabha elections, it had its own importance. This was looked upon as the semi-finals because, you had this India alliance coming together just about 7-8 months ago, and everyone wanted to see how they will look at this elections because the Lok Sabha elections are not very far away. And they have lost, 2 terms to BJP, and they want to do well in 2024. So there are 28 parties which came together to form what some people call India Alliance and some people call it India Alliance. Anyway, whatever it is, they had to get their act together. But unfortunately, what we saw was there was no meeting of minds. They were not able to decide on the seats distribution. See, that is the key in any election. You can have as many meetings as you want, you can come up with as many policies that you want, you can come up with slogans, whatever you want, but then on the ground level you should be able to share, you should be able to give and take. But that doesn't seem to have happened at all, because in none of these 5 states, at least in the 3 where the Congress and BJP were fighting, and Congress was not ready to cede grounds to any of its allies in the India Alliance. For example, in Madhya Pradesh, Samajwadi Party has some hold, and they had 1 MLA, and this time they wanted to increase their presence there. All that the Congress had to do was give them a little space for them to come up in this election. But they kept them waiting till the end, and then they finally said, we'll give you 6 seats when Samajwadi Party has asked for 38 seats. And so it didn't work at all. So nowhere has India Alliance been able to show that they're ready for 2024 Lok Sabha elections. And of course, I don't know, now the Congress party has called a meeting on the India Alliance, and probably they have to do a total rethink as to how they're going to face this 2024 elections.
Yes, Mr. Upadhyay, let's also take a look at fresh data coming in at the moment. We will also share data from Election Commission's website. In the state of Chhattisgarh, BJP has garnered 46 seats while Congress is at 39. While in Madhya Pradesh, BJP has garnered 155 seats and Congress is at 72. In Rajasthan, BJP has taken a decisive lead with 115 seats and Congress with 68 seats. While in the state of Telangana, Congress has garnered 61 seats, BRS 36, and BJP has failed to make any kind of a major impression there and has garnered only 10 seats.
Right, in terms of the implications that this election has, Mr. Upadhyay, for the BJP and the Congress, let's just talk about the way in which the BJP has very carefully also strategize itself when it comes to connecting with the voters on the ground? Because let's face it, this is an election which also tells us about what lies ahead in terms of what's on the voters' mind. So the way in which the BJP has positioned itself on the core issues like that of the farmers' welfare, when it comes to the issue of women empowerment like we've been discussing. Also, the game changer scheme in the state of Madhya Pradesh has been something that we've been talking about, has also played out very well for Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who, by the way, has now totally trumped the idea of anti-incumbency. That's a very important takeaway here, because this is a case study in the way in which anti-incumbency has totally been thrown out of the park for Shivraj Singh Chauhan.
I think that's the biggest surprise as far as this election is concerned, probably even for the BJP leaders, because they sidelined him, and I think he was totally not in the picture at all until the very last minute. And his name appeared only in the fourth list, fourth and final list. So until then, they were not looking at...
Why do you think that was? Because was that the strategy of being overcautious as far as the issue of anti-incumbency is concerned, or was that a wait-and-watch mode? Because let's face it, that's also going to be one of the aspects that they will look at in hindsight.
Well, I think probably, you see, there is a lot of wheels within wheels in any political party. I mean, one can only speculate as to why he was being sidelined. See, he is one of those who has been a consistent performer, and he has won every election that he has contested. From 91 to 2004, he was a member of parliament for 5 terms, and then he became the chief minister, and he had performed. He is the longest serving chief minister for 16 years. Of course, in the last time, he did lose because 0.4% was the difference between Congress and BJP, but then he lost power. But that didn't mean that, he was to be blamed for that, because there were various other issues which came in the way. Fortunately for him and the BJP, the Kamal Nath government didn't survive for long. Within 15 months, his government collapsed. Of course, BJP played it very cleverly. They brought in Scindia, who brought 22 MLAs along with him, and then since then Shivraj Singh Chauhan has again become the chief minister. And I think one of the game changers was this Ladli Behanak scheme, which was very smartly brought out just before the elections. Imagine the BRS tried to do it just before the elections, 2 days before the elections, and the election commission said, no, you're bribing the voters. What has Shivraj Singh done is also bribing, but then he got away. So
but look at the way in which that also defeats the idea of it was too late for the scheme to be brought in, and how the timing factor has worked out brilliantly as far as the issue of women empowerment is concerned, because let's face it, the opposition has been trying to cry foul over the intention of the party, over how this was a strategy right ahead of the election, but how the BJP has positioned itself as a party that says that, yes, we care about the rights of the women voters and wooing the women voters. The Congress also has tried to do, by the way. It's been a part of its core agenda in this crucial contest, but has not worked out.
I'm a little bit surprised the BJP didn't use the women's reservation as an issue, a big enough issue in these elections, because they're the one who got the act passed. After so many years, the Congress promised it, but they couldn't deliver. But BJP government was able to get even the opposition to support that bill. So now it's an act which will, of course, not come into effect in this 2024 elections, because the delimitation has to happen and the census is due. So because of all these factors, it will not happen in 2024. So potentially this will happen in 2029. But still, I thought this is one issue which BJP could have drummed up, saying that, look, they have been just talking, whereas we have done it. And we have done it with a purpose, and we know when to bring it and how to bring it. Otherwise, if you bring it now for 2024, without doing the census, without doing the reorganization of states, reorganization of constituencies, it will get into a mess. Because, see, once you have this constitution to find out how many seats will go where and all that, how many have to be reserved for women, all that has to come in only after delimitation. So the delimitation commission has to come in first. They will have to be given clear deadlines to come out with the report, and simultaneously you have to have the census, and all this, if they're ready, let's say by 27 or 28, 29 it will happen. Anyway, that is one of the issues which BJP could have worked on, but they looked at all other issues about Labhartis. See, they have been doing lots of things to a lot of people, different communities, different. But then there was focus this thing on women.
Right.
So that is where in Madhya Pradesh, they brought this, big gift to the women.
Yes.
Right, Mr. Upadhyay, also today's results are being seen as the semi-finals. We've been talking about 5 months ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. Do you think the outcome of these polls will have a bearing in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections or not?
Well, it didn't happen in 2019 because even 2019 Congress had done much better.
Yes.
In fact, they were won 286 seats out of 520 now at play. So, but this time it looks like they were not going to do that kind of a number. And then we saw what happened in 2019. In 2019, BJP just swept the polls. I mean, there were 65 Lok Sabha seats, in play in these 3 states where Congress and BJP are neck to neck, and BJP won 61 seats. So this time BJP is in a much better position after these elections because they are winning 2 seats, winning big, not just by a slender margin. Both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan is in their kitty, and even Chhattisgarh, they're looking like they might form the government. So which is a big plus for the BJP. And as far as Congress is concerned, they have a consolation in Telangana. I mean, it's not a bad consolation because considering that Telangana is a rich state, I mean, so you need money to run the elections. They already have Karnataka in their pocket, so they will have 2 states to finance their elections. So that is the one big gain as far as the Congress is concerned. But I don't know how much money is left because Chandrasekhar Rao is supposed to have spent like anything. I mean, he has one of the biggest debts any state government could have. So this is the scenario under which we will be looking at 2024 elections.